First available to the public in October of 2014, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 is the fourth generation of Samsung's largest size smartphones, whose unique stylus pen and additional large screen capabilities have consistently targeted the device toward a unique market of users. Coming with a faster processor, slightly larger battery, a more advanced camera with optical image stabilization for improved low light shots, as well as additional capabilities in the camera app itself, as well as an extremely detailed Quad HD screen with an impressive 515 pixels per inch resolution, the Note 4 is more of an evolutionary step beyond the Note 3 rather than a revolutionary leap. Continuing Samsung's previous path of feature-rich devices, Samsung has thrown a number of new features into this device, including a blood oxygen sensor, a heart rate monitor, which is activated with the sensor on the back, very similar, in fact, including the blood oxygen sensor. As you can see, it uses a red laser light to detect blood oxygen and heart rate. It is, however, a little sensitive to bouncing around, so do try to be still and quiet when you use it. It also tracks steps taken as well as calories burned by integrating with a food database. A UV sensor to help detect ultraviolet light that may be skin damaging, as well as a fingerprint reader to unlock and lock the device. This particular S-Health functionality allows fitness-conscious users, especially users of this particular app, to gain additional insight into their health. 32 gigabytes of flash storage are complemented by up to 128 gigabytes of expandable micro SD storage. In addition, this device, in T-Mobile form, supports T-Mobile's new 700 MHz Block A spectrum, also known as Band 12, allowing for those on T-Mobile service to obtain better reception and speed while indoors or in rural areas where T-Mobile's normal higher frequencies have an issue penetrating walls or pushing out for long distances. As this device runs the Android operating system, all of the attendant advantages and disadvantages to Android apply. Android devices are highly customizable and may even be rooted and have specialized versions of the Android operating system, otherwise known as ROMs, installed on them. As such, for many programmers and users who like to push the edges of device performance and see what they can do, Android is very appealing. Conversely, due to the method by which security updates are distributed through the Android ecosystem for non-Google Nexus devices, it can take quite some time for patches made by Google to make their way from Google to Samsung and thence to your mobile carrier such as T-Mobile, AT&T, or Verizon. For those users with an abundance of security awareness and/or who work in organizations with strict security requirements, Android becomes a more difficult choice. Because of the customizability of Android, each vendor, Samsung, LG, HTC, etc., have made changes to the OS, in this case TouchWiz on Samsung device, meaning that there are fewer standard locations for items, and the look and feel of the system differs from manufacturer to manufacturer, and frankly from version to version of the same phone. As a result, Android users need to be comfortable with learning new ways of doing things, relearning how to use parts of their phones each time they buy a new phone or perform a major upgrade. Additionally, there is no across-the-board design philosophy that Android apps adhere to, although with the new material design framework that may change in the near future. As of this point though, there can be jarring differences between apps. The performance can be impressive, but erratic, with jerks in the user interface of the phone from time to time. Again, there is a chance that this may change with the introduction of Android 5.0 Lollipop, which uses a different engine, a different framework or format, if you will, for applications, which is anticipated to provide performance advantages. You may very well find that the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 fits your unique lifestyle if you match 2 or more of the following criteria. If you are above 5 foot 8 inches in height and thus have naturally larger hands, with a thumb length of at least 2.5 inches, or if you prefer or are okay with using 2 hands to hold your smartphone. If you are a technology hobbyist and maybe a programmer who enjoys delving into the complex internals of your phone's operating system, and if you are someone who finds great appeal in using a pen to take notes, draw, or write text. You may not be a good candidate to get the best value out of a note if you are shorter than average or have smaller hands, especially if you are tied to using your device with one hand. If you are highly concerned about potential security problems and making sure that the latest updates from your OS manufacturer are on your phone as soon as possible after release. If you are someone who finds no appeal in taking notes, drawing, or writing text with a pen. Or if you are unwilling to pay a substantial price premium beyond that charged for other large-screen Android phones that lack the pen. For more details, please go to netnoiselife.com for our full review. Please leave any comments and suggestions below. Thank you for watching and have a wise day.